How y'all doing tonight? Hope everybody's doing real good.
Would you fuck yourself for money? Would kill me for my own good? Would you slap your sister if she asked you to? I've seen your work, I guess you would. And you're here waiting for the rapture. Will you be staying overnight? Are you coming round? Hey, are you coming round? Hey, are you coming round? I thought you might. And you're bulletproof and bleeding. Hey, you're dead, hey, now you're not. And you walk round town with your Jackie Earl halo, and that's all you got. People like you, is that all you ever need? And you're here waiting for the rapture. And me, I'm praying there's a dawn. Hey, are you coming round? Hey, are you coming round? Hey, are you coming round? Or are you gone? Everybody loves a man on a cliff. Some hope for heroes. Most of us beg for blood, and we all stay to see if he falls. No one stays to pick him up. Much too busy for his rapture. And we can catch it on the news tonight instead. Hey, are you coming round? Hey, are you coming round? Hey, are you coming round? Or are you dead? Or are you dead? I heard you were dying. I think it might be true. I heard you were dying. Good for you. I hope you're dead. I hope you're
dead. Well, hello, everybody. I hope everybody's doing good tonight. You don't hear me or see me? That's because you're behind me then. Am I? Hush, honey.
I'm doing pretty good. I hope you're doing just as good as I am right now tonight.
There.
Oh, now I see him.
Happy Thanksgiving Eve, everybody. I bet everybody's busy today, but I've got a good turnout showing up so far, which is awesome. Just want to jump on for a little bit and say hey to my friends and Gypsy's friends. And I'm hiding behind the bushes. Can you see me now? You got to laugh. It makes you feel better. So I guess y'all have.
Sarah's basement is flooded.
I heard Sarah's basement is flooded, and
She tried to boil lobster on her grill and the grill died.
well, if did the water overboil and put the flames out and clog up the jets, that'll cause it sometimes. But I don't know. Let's say, Coach, how you today? Good to see you. I know there's other people in here because there's 9 on the list and there's only 2 plus Gypsy talking to me. Everybody say hello. Happy Thanksgiving, folks. So I don't know if y'all heard the news or not, but Gypsy and I have decided that we're going to take the high road in this stupid fight between Silly Girl and BDAC and we're just going to wish them all well. And BDAC is in really bad health, so he's in God's hands, and we're going to continue with what we wanted to do when we first started on YouTube, and that's offer a safe place for everybody to come hang out and talk and chat and just have a good time. You're safe here. This is like a place where you can get away from the bullshit for a while. Everybody needs to get away from the bullshit. So can I get an amen, somebody? Anyway. Gypsy's not going to go live today, I don't think. She's still dealing with some a slight health issue, and she's not feeling well. And she's in the chat. She can talk to y'all while we're here. So one of the things I wanted to talk about is, what are you guys thankful for since it's Thanksgiving? I mean, most everybody's going to talk about what they're thankful for tomorrow. Coach said he stepped in the bull on his way in, but he wiped it off. Well, thank you very much. I hope you hit the like button too. One of the things that I'm thankful for, I've got a lot that I'm thankful for, really, because I'm blessed. On my YouTube page, Facebook page today, I posted something, and I know you're not going to be able to see it if I hold it up to the camera, but I want to read what it said because it means a lot. I mean, here it is. I asked for strength, and God gave me difficulties to overcome. I asked for wisdom, and God gave me problems to solve. I asked for courage, and He gave me dangers to overcome. I asked for love, and he gave me a Gypsy to love. Thank you, God, for you answer all the prayers. Keep my blessings coming because I need them now more than ever. I think we all need God's blessings. And I hope that each and every one of you guys feel the same way. There's been times in our life that we've thought that God did turn his back on us, but things will work out in the end. I mean, shit, I had a heart attack this past month and I didn't die. I've had cancer and survived that. I've been hit by a car. I've been shot. Had hypothermia, and I'm still here, 62 years old, to start drawing my actual retirement next month. I've made it. And I have so much to be thankful for, especially my wife, Gypsy. She's been with me through most all of it, and she hasn't turned tail and ran. Thank you, God. What are y'all thankful for? Put it in the chat. Gypsy, shout it out if you see it. Sarah, I'm sorry. Is that what you're thankful for, honey? Damn. That's really bad. I'm sorry, Sarah. We'll pray for you on that one. Bad timing, huh? Yeah. Gypsy says she's thankful that she's my content. She's real self-conscious about my broken tooth, and I am getting it fixed. It's just VA moves really, really slow, the Veterans Administration. So she mentions it at least 4 times a day. Don't go live. They'll laugh at you. I don't care. I am who I am. I am who I am. Mystery Lady says, never count on tomorrow. Live the hell out. You know what? That is true. When I first met Cynthia, she had a saying that when she died, she was not going to have any wish I should have, could have. And we've been through a lot, and she's been through a lot, and I don't think there's much that she's wished or should have or could have that we haven't experienced or we're not going to experience before we're gone. Life is good. I was hit by a car when I was a kid. I was like, I guess 10 years old. I was riding my bicycle one day in front of the church. It was the day before my birthday, day before my 10th birthday, and my grandmother had sent me a check in the mail, and I went and bought a speedometer for my bicycle and put it on. And I'd been over at my aunt's house, and I come out of her driveway just shitting and getting, and I wasn't looking where I was going. I was watching my speedometer, and it was getting up. This is like, I guess it was 72, and that speedometer was getting up there, to 10, 12 miles an hour, which was not fast by today's standards, but for a 13-year-old, it's pretty cool. And I turned the curve at the church, and bam, I hit a car head on. And my head rolled across his hood, and then my body fell under the car just as the front wheels passed, and he stopped with my legs under the car. And from like my chest up, I was out from the car. He did not run over me, thank God. It was like God grabbed my head and my body and said, okay, this is how you're going to roll out of this one. And the gentleman that hit me was freaking out. My bicycle went up in the air and came down into his windshield. And I'm sliding back to get up from underneath this car, and he opened his car door and boom, hit me in the chin with his car door and knocked me out cold. Got that scar right there from it. But, God is, and there's no way to deny it. This is not going to be a Sunday preaching lesson, guys. I just wanted to talk to you about some good things that I have to be thankful for. God is everything. And he saved my life more than once. And I'm so thankful. Jeez, I'm thankful. Coach, what are you thankful for this year? You've had a real exciting, busy year. Sarah says that she's thankful she used to have hot water. I'm sorry. It's too easy to laugh, and I know it's not funny. Especially you're up there where it's cold and going to get colder. Geez. I think you're going to get some snow in the next couple of days too, aren't you? The Stan said it's like the Tim McGraw song, Live Like You Were Dying. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, as long as you don't step on people and use unnecessary deeds against people, you know, treat them the way you want to be treated, life's going to work out for us. I mean, life is a roller coaster. Everybody has highs. Everybody has lows. Everybody has highs and lows, and that's what keeps life going. I mean, it's like a sound wave, sort of, you know. Sarah says she's just joking about used to have hot water. She's always had cold water. Oh. Mystery Lady, what are you thankful for right here, right now, today? Coach, what are you thankful for? Think about it now. Put it in the chat so we can talk about it for a few minutes. I'm thankful that I'm not dying today. Crickets. Nah, I talk to myself all the time, honey. There's a comment popped up. I was just getting ready to. Mr. Lady says, I'm sorry, but I asked the wrong one. It's tough to be thankful sometimes when things are down and you're being hit from every direction with bullshit and unnecessary trials and tribulations. And it's hard. It is. But what makes us different from the animals is we keep on keeping on, and we overcome, and we think things through, and we know tomorrow's going to be here, hopefully, and we're going to, you know, prevail.
You were home on leave in the Navy. As far as your mom for Thanksgiving.
The Stan says, I'm thankful for my family and real friends. Exactly. I'll tell y'all a Thanksgiving story. When I was in the Navy, the first 4 years I was stationed on an aircraft carrier, the USS Constellation, CV-64. We called her the Connie. And she was America's flagship. We did 110 days straight in the Indian Ocean in a great big triangle. For 110 days, we didn't even see a tree. And then after that, it was during the Iranian hostage crisis. And the helicopters that flew in to rescue the hostages and crashed in the desert flew off of our flight deck. But when we got back to San Diego, I'd put in for leave and was going to come home for Thanksgiving. And in San Diego, it gets cool, but it doesn't really get cold. So I boarded the plane heading to North Carolina. We're in cutoff shorts and a t-shirt, and packed all my other stuff in my duffel bag and checked my baggage. And to be honest with you, I don't even think I owned a coat then. Got to Texas, Dallas Fort Worth, and I had a layover it was like a 6-hour layover. And then we got on the plane at Dallas, and the plane wasn't full, and I paid an upgrade and got bumped to first class. And I sat beside of a wrestler. I don't know if you've ever heard of him or not. His name was Ric Flair. Nicest guy I ever met in my life. Nothing like his persona on TV. Really wasn't. And he got me drunk. And he started laughing about 30 minutes before we landed. And he says, you know, brother, you're going to be cold when you get home. And I said, why is that? He says, because there's snow on the ground. And I laughed. I said, you shit me. He says, no, I'm not. We landed in Charlotte, and there was about that much snow on the ground. And I had cut off shorts and T-shirt and no coat. I didn't even pack a coat. And he shook my hand, thanked me for my service, and went on about his business, you know, because he was a busy man, but he was really, really friendly to me. And I like froze to death for it. My sister picked me up and got me home. That taught me to start listening to the weatherman and planning ahead. I thought that was a funny incident. I did. This year, Gypsy and I have been through a lot. I'm not going to tell y'all much about all the stuff that we've been through, but I'm going to show you just a little bit of what I consider to be the stupidest thing I've done all year that I didn't get in trouble for, and I'm thankful for that. I ran, when we were moving out of our apartment that had black mold in it, we were kind of trying to salvage what we could. And I was really frustrated, and my grandson, he was about as useful as a teenager wanting to be somewhere else. And I got in the car and tried to back it up to the front door, or we had an Expedition then, and I had to do one of the do to get backed up to the front door. And I pulled forward, backed it up a little bit and turned to the right. I pulled forward again, and bam. So luckily I was in an Expedition, and the Expedition just got a little bitty scratch, but the city come out, the police come out, the fire department came out, and about 13 workers, and only one that actually did any work, and they all stood around, you know, and picked their butt and scratched their head and laughed about it. And never, you know, they said, well, you know, I've been telling the city for years that this fire hydrant here was too low and it needed to be raised anyway. So what they ended up doing, but they didn't. Mr. Lay says, I will never fail in my faith for God. I just have a lot of angry questions for him. You know, Mr. Lady, you and Gypsy sound alike. She knows that there's a God, believes in God, but she's got some issues with the man right now, and that's sad. But we'll pray for you, and you pray for us, because we're all family here, and we love each and every one of you. And even the trolls who are hate watching out there, y'all come on in. You're welcome here. You know, we're not going to put you down. We're not going to get our jollies off of picking and making fun of people, because, you know, it just makes us look ignorant. You know, I've said some bad shit about some people on the tube out of anger, and some of them deserved it and more. but I'm better than that. And I know there's a lot of channels out there that are, making bank being drama channels, but I don't want to do that. Gypsy said her ex-husband, had a boat and it was docked beside of Nature Boy Ric Flair at Lake Wiley Marina. A lot of wrestlers lived in the Charlotte area, still do. Gypsy says that she apologizes for hurting anyone while she was defending her family, and she'll do better, but we're still going to defend ourselves. I mean, I was listening to another channel this morning. I'm not going to give them props, and I'm not going to tell you what was the person that said it. Just that they're probably the most hated troll on the internet is all I need to say. And the host of the channel kept saying, why can't we just get along? And I sat there for a minute and I thought, why can't we just get along? It's a really simple question why we can't get along is because the people that they were dealing with don't want to get along. They get their jollies and their audience get their jollies, and they're making bank off of attacking and insulting, and it's sad that they can't be adults. Y'all heard a beep just now. I have we're doing turkey in the morning, or I'm going to start a turkey in the morning, but I have a rotisserie that we picked up at a thrift store a couple of years ago from Ronco. It's a big one too, man. It almost hold a turkey. It's so big. But my son Charlie wanted me to roast a chicken, and he wanted it flavored like Chinese food. And I'm trying my hand, and sometimes when I'm rotisserie, that thing will cause the fire alarm to go off. What?
I need my antibiotics. I can't stop coughing.
Your antibiotic? I think it's in the medicine box in Mom's room, honey. Okay, yeah. Anyway. We cannot all get along because God gave us free will. Stop what, honey?
I don't want you to talk about it anymore.
I'm not.
You say I'm sorry, then you shut up about it.
And with that comes evil and malice. Mr. Lady, you're right. Key words there are free will. And Gypsy and I choose to take the high road. And it's just that easy. I mean, my personal information and her personal information is still on somebody else's page, but it's, so what? Doesn't scare me.
Stop talking about it.
We're just going to say, guys, we forgive you. Hey, we're not going to talk to you no more. Gypsy, I know you can hear her yelling, stop talking about bullshit. Anyway.
Talk about something else, like Thanksgiving.
Do you guys have plans to go anywhere tomorrow? I personally, I just turned 62, and now that I'm retired, I really haven't changed my ways. I got a senior citizen discount when I was 58. So Gypsy laughed for a year over that. But I don't like to drive on holidays. There's too many idiots on the road. And it's safer just to stay home. And, you know, my grandparents have been gone a long time. On December 1st, my daddy would have been 102 years old. And, man, what I'd give if he was still here so I could write down some of the stories that he used to tell me about when he was young, because he, you know, he saw some stuff. He was at Normandy. But we've all seen and done things. Gypsy is just, I'm trying to tell him he's so hard headed. Yeah. Oh, I have to address it, though, once and for all. I mean, I'm not saying names and I'm not calling names. I'm just saying that we're letting it all go. Or most of it, anyway. If somebody attacks me, I'm going to defend my wife and my son. And that's why I'm the man, right? And she needs her meds really bad. So, what do y'all Mystery Lady says all men do get on their nerves. Yeah, it's our job. I mean, you know, somebody's got to. Yeah, somebody does. Mystery Lady, you cooking tomorrow? Sarah, what about you? My son is a real picky eater. He's got a little bit of autism, more than a little bit. But thankfully, he loves turkey. Mystery Lady said, no, she's not cooking tomorrow. Gypsy asks, what did my mama? That's what we call my mama, because the grandkids all called her mama. Huh? Yeah. Pencil sharpener. I know. I'm not. Anyway, we called my mom Mama. My dad was called Papa by all the grandkids. And we had, when we would get together at my mom's house for Thanksgiving, there was anywhere between 19 to 24 of us. But if we went to my grandmother's house, now she had 13 children. And all of them had children, and some of them had grandchildren. And we would go there, and everybody would bring a covered dish or two. And we would set these tables up, long tables that they'd borrowed from the church, out in the backyard if the weather was nice, or in the storeroom if it wasn't, and cover these tables with food of every shape, size, color, smell, and eat until we exploded. And my Aunt Nellie, rest her soul, made the best homemade lemonade I'd ever tasted. My son loves lemonade today, and he had never tasted hers. But she would freshly squeeze lemons. And these are old country folks who lived out, 60 miles away from the nearest town on a farm. My granddaddy was a preacher and a farmer. And that's what they did back then, back in the 1800s or early 1900s, is they'd have a lot of kids so they could have free labor on the farm hands. And that was the case with my grandparents. They owned a farm, and my granddaddy owned a country store. And they built their house out of cinder blocks, and all my uncles and helped. And my mom was the oldest of the 13. And so she had not only babysitting duties for the children, but she also had to do the work around the house. And I sure do miss them. Cynthia, stop putting this in chat, please. I know what I'm doing. I know what I'm saying. Oh, Lord help me. It's going to be interesting. But most of y'all are younger than me and don't have any clue what it's like to hang out with somebody that was born in the 1800s. But my grandparents were on both sides. My dad's parents lived in Lexington, North Carolina, the barbecue capital of the East Coast. And my mom and dad, my mom's family lived in Hamptonville, which is literally in the foothills of the Appalachian Mountains. And they were all peculiar in their ways. But it made them special, you know. Ain't nothing wrong with being peculiar. I'm peculiar. Hang on for a second, guys. Let me look. Okay. Hey, ay, ay. What is she yelling about now? I got the smoke out from the chicken cooking finally. The alarm should stop now. Yeah, I need to go check that too. Shoot. Gypsy said I used to make yeah, Chex Mix. Mama's recipe was easy too. You take wheat Chex, rice Chex, and corn Chex cereal, and half a stick of butter, a whole box of each of those three cereals, and a half a can of Spanish red skin peanuts, and mix them all together and melt the butter, and then mix in 2 tablespoons of Worcestershire sauce with the butter, and then pour it all in it and stick your hands all in it and get it all grubby like this, and then lay it out on the pan, put it in the oven 350 for 25 minutes, and it come out just like you buy in store, actually better. It really did. And that was awesome. And she also made these cookies that were, we call them oatmeal chocolate drop cookies, but Gypsy's family called them dookie cookies because I think they thought it was funny that they looked like little dookies. But it was oatmeal, peanut butter, chocolate and butter, salt, and a little milk, and they're real easy to make. I make them all the time because the kids love them, and they were real good. I miss those days when my mom and dad were here and I had a family to go to and celebrate with. Now, you know, cat's in the cradle, the older kids are gone and hardly ever call or come by. They've got things going on in their own, and I don't know. I just don't know. Guys, Gypsy is the only one talking in here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Sarah said, I'm here. I'm just in the chocolate lot. I hear you. Y'all, give me just 2 seconds while I pull them. Quick look at the chicken in there. Oh, yeah. I didn't time this too good with my live, did I? I wish I was on my phone and you guys can see what I'm doing here. I'll try to bring it over there like you said. Can you see this? I actually filleted this whole chicken except for the legs and wings. And it's just falling apart. It smells like Chinese. It smells like sesame chicken at the Chinese restaurant. Want some? Have a bite. It's on me. Let me put it back over here. Cool. Wow, that's good. Oh, my logo was in the way. Sorry. Anyway, I love that rotisserie machine, man. We got it for like $4 2 years ago at a thrift store. And it even came with the instruction booklet too. And it has the rotisserie and the cage that you can cook in. I cooked that one in the cage. I filleted the chicken, pulled all the spine and the rib cage out, and just left the wings and the legs bones is the only. I even pulled the bones out of the thigh. Then I put it in the cage, put it in there for an hour, and it was perfect timing. Cynthia says that it's hiding my tooth. It's on purpose. Let's see. You guys have any special treats for the holidays y'all like to eat? I used sesame oil, and what did I use? Oh, yeah, let me show you. Hold on. I used sesame oil, ground garlic, and some of this stuff is called bone sucking sauce. It's made locally, and it is the best for chicken or ribs or steak or anything. And then a little tiny bit of cinnamon and a little bit of sugar. And I put it all over the outside and put it in the rotisserie and let it do its thing. And then when it's done, I just give it a slight brush with more sesame oil. It's from Kiko Man, 100% pure sesame oil. It's really, really rich. So it only takes just a little bit, and it goes a long way in flavor and smell. I love to cook. Good Lord, I love to cook. I'm not good at it, but I do it. Sarah said she made pretzel squares with melted rolls, then a pecan on top. I'm trying to imagine a pretzel square with a melted roll and then a pecan on top. Sounds good. Let's see. Let me go catch up here. Army vet. Hey, brother. What's up, man? Thank you for your service. I appreciate you. Yes, we will. But you know, Navy's going to beat Army again. I mean, it's just written in the sky. Stan said he's traveling tomorrow, or asked, "Are you traveling?" We're not traveling anywhere here. My car's sitting on empty anyway. Coach said he likes potato salad. You know, Gypsy makes potato salad. I don't eat eggs at all. But Gypsy loves her some potato salad. And I haven't eaten eggs since I was 10 years old, 12 years old. I worked on the chicken farm for a summer at my grandparents' farm up in Hamptonville. And my job was to go kill the sick chickens and, you know, get them out. And I haven't had an egg since then. I eat it if it's in a cake. That's about the only egg I'll eat. Chicken fart. That's what it is to me. No soy sauce. I use a little bit of teriyaki though, but not much, because the sesame oil here with the sugar and the garlic and the cinnamon really makes a great flavor. It really does. Who else is here that I missed? 10 Mile South. Hey, how you doing? Happy Thanksgiving, guys. Let's see. I'm trying to catch up here. Sarah, you're making me hungry. Raspberry puree for raspberry cupcakes and raspberry buttercream frosting. You don't like raspberry, do you? And cake pops, too. What time's dinner, Jimbo? Oh, Sarah said that was supposed to be Rolos, not rolls, on her pretzel squares. That makes better sense to me. I can see that. Yeah, that sounds good. Stan says he eats Thanksgiving around 4 p.m. Y'all coming? Sarah says, Mystery Lady, do you live an hour from Jimbo? I thought I remembered that. And Gypsy says she's pulling for the losing team. Tennessee girl, hey, welcome. Yay, our people is here. I saw a video today that I am dying to try. Let me think of the name of the thing. Really thin. Help me out here, guys. Really thin. It's like a pie crust, but it's really, really thin. Anyway, you take it and you put it in like a cupcake, and then you put mozzarella cheese, a little bit of marinara sauce, 3 or 4 pepperonis, and some more cheese, and then you roll it up on top and pat it down, and then brush them with butter and put them in the oven 350 for 30 minutes, and they come out golden brown and crisp and like little pizza sandwiches, about like so. And it looks so good. Oh, my Lord. I like to eat. So I'm going to try that probably next week when the leftover turkey's gone. Sarah says she can't eat a lot of other people's cooking because of food sensitivity. I understand that. I do. Yeah, Sarah, why don't they come up with a way for us to do that? That's the only thing that going live on the tube is lacking, in my opinion, is a way for people in the chat to show a picture or something. Gypsy says she's going to make a turkey and green beans and corn and yams and raspberry dressing. I can't wait, man. Put that turkey in the oven in the morning, and it'll be done about 1 or 2, and it won't last till 3 because we'll sit down and grub. Lisa is here. Hey, Lisa. Happy Thanksgiving to you, too. Appreciate y'all coming in here. Gypsy says she's going to be watching the Mr. Magoo Scrooge and singing Tiny Tim's song about raspberry dressing. You can tell how old we are. Oh, man. Isn't this nice? No drama. I'm enjoying it. I hope y'all are.
How y'all doing tonight? Hope everybody's doing real good.
I hope everybody's doing good too. I really do. Sarah says, Gypsy, I couldn't get the whole meal yet, but I had most of the dessert already, going somewhere else, even though I'd rather stay home. Every place here is closed tomorrow. Even the gas stations are closed here tomorrow for some reason. I did talk to the people at Bojangles this morning when I got some free coffee creamer, and they said that they were open until 2 tomorrow. Sarah says she strained out the seeds. Gypsy loves turkey day. You guys know my last name is Gobble, right? Gobble. And my oldest daughter, when I was in the Navy, and my second tour, I was stationed in Richmond, Virginia, as a Naval Officer Program Recruiter for the state of Virginia. And my oldest daughter was born Thanksgiving Day at like 2:15 in the morning. And the ladies at the hospital thought it was just too darn funny that somebody named Gobble was having a baby on Thanksgiving Day. So they called, it was Richmond, Virginia, is where I was stationed. They called the Richmond Times-Dispatch, and they sent a reporter over in the middle of the night, took a picture and got our information and wrote a little story about it. Well, the way the news works at some of these major papers, like, the Richmond Times-Dispatch was a major paper, they released the story to the Associated Press. And it was picked up by media everywhere. And, I waited till like 8:30 in the morning, Thanksgiving morning, to call my mom, and I didn't want to wake her up in the middle of the night and let her know that she had a new grandbaby. And I called, and she answered the phone, and she said, hello. And I said, hey, guess what? She said, it's a girl. I said, how did you know? She said, well, I was just watching the Today Show, and Bryant Gumbel told me about it. They had picked up the story from the Associated Press and showed our picture and told that, Rihanna was born on Thanksgiving Day. And the title of the story was The Gobbles Feather Their Nest. And people from Texas and California and Colorado and Washington State and Michigan clipped out, out of nowhere. They were clipping out this newspaper article, putting them in an envelope and mailing it to the hospital, and the hospital forwarded them to us. And I've got those in one of our briefcases here somewhere, all those articles that they sent. Homemade pizza puffs. That sounds like what I saw this morning, Sarah. phyllo dough. That's what it was called. Real thin dough, and you put it in a like a cupcake pan, and then you put cheese, sauce, pepperoni, more cheese, top it off, brush it with butter, and put it in the oven. And it looked so good, and it was crunchy when they pulled it apart. Alicia, yeah, phyllo dough. You just put it up there. Thank you. Alicia said, hey, Alicia, she said when she was pregnant with twins, she couldn't be in the house while the turkey was cooking.
Is this right?
Yes, honey. She said the smell made me so sick. I'll never forget it. Oh, man, let me tell you what we did when my ex-wife went into labor. I had already taken the turkey out and put it on the counter to start thawing out, you know, and then she went in labor and didn't think about putting the turkey back in the refrigerator. I left it on there, and I was at the hospital for 3 days. And when I came back, that turkey had gotten ripe. So I had to throw it in the trash. And Garbage Man came like the next day, and I'm sitting there at the kitchen table drinking a cup of coffee, and I watched the garbage man. He opens the garbage can, and it went, oh, and put the lid back on it. It stank so bad. And instead of dumping it into his barrel, he took my can to the truck and dumped it in. He didn't want that stinking thing in his trash can. Oh, good Lord. My sister used to get a honey baked ham every year, and she would make like
Ham rolls or something.
ham rolls. I'm not sure. I don't remember all the things that she would make, but I do remember the honey baked ham because she'd get mad at me. I would stand there at the ham and just eat and eat and eat and eat. And she said, you got to leave some for everybody else. I said, damn, sister, there's a whole ham here. Oh, God. Family is good to have if you got them. We don't, you know, all my family is in different directions now. My parents are dead. My sister almost is. And my grown kids are grown and gone. Back over here to the chat. Has anybody done a fried turkey before? I've done one 2 times. They're really, really, really good, but you need to be rich to fry a turkey because that oil is like $40 for a bottle, and it takes a bottle and a half to fry a big turkey. And it tastes so good. There's nothing like it. There's really not. But good Lord, man, it's expensive to do it that way. But, you know, if I could fit the turkey into the rotisserie and come out with like this chicken is that I just cooked, I'd do that because I love my rotisserie. In Gypsy, we lived in a house out in the country that had a fireplace. It was a wood burning fireplace. And we had these iron skillets. I had almost every iron skillet you can mention, even a Dutch oven with a lid. But Gypsy would take this iron skillet and she would put ribs on it, and she would get the fire going real good, and she'd scoop some of the coals into the iron skillet, and she'd put it right in the fireplace in the living room. And I'd come home and she would be like, look, and it smelled so good, and the food was awesome, cooked over a wood fire. It's not like a grill. I love the grill too, but that iron skillet was awesome, man. It really was. Wow. I love to eat. And, you know, I got a pretty good sized belly to prove it. I'm proud of that because when I had cancer, I dropped down to 120 pounds. And it happened slowly and gradually. And I didn't realize I had cancer. I mean, I didn't really pay much attention to the fact that I was losing all this weight because I worked real hard. You know, we were at the car lot 16 hours a day with repoing and sales and finance and paperwork. And so I never had time to notice things like that. And now that I've gotten over it, I had 6 surgeries on my cancer. I never had to have chemo, thank you God, because they say that really, really makes you feel sick. But I did have 6 surgeries on my bladder, so now I have to pee every 15 minutes. You can almost set a clock by it. But I'm alive. And I know I'm healthy because I'm fat again. So if I start losing weight, that's my trigger to go have it checked out. Smells so good on hickory wood. You know, I have people in here in the chat. I've got 10 people in here now, and I bet all 10 of you are from a different town than I'm in. One of the things that we're known for here in Winston-Salem, Lexington, North Carolina, is cooking with hickory wood, slow smoked, especially pork. It tastes so good. And the barbecue capital of the world is in Lexington, where my daddy was raised. It just has an awesome flavor to it. And I know in Texas, they use a lot of mesquite. We don't have mesquite here, but we can buy it in the store. But we can go in the woods and cut down a hickory, you know, limb or two and use them to grill with. And you guys read that comment right there. I didn't put food in my mouth. I did, but I won't be like Ernie and eat in front of you. Tell them about the catheter. The last surgery I had for my bladder cancer, it was done at Wake Forest Baptist Medical Center at the Cancer Center. It's the best cancer center in the nation, and it's right here in the town that we live in. They did my surgery, and when they sent me home with a catheter in, and they told Cynthia that in 3 days she was to remove the catheter. They didn't tell her how to do it. They just told her to remove the catheter. So I had this bag strapped to my ankle, and we decided I was cabin fever, I guess is the word for it. I had to get out of the damn house. I mean, I was just like, get me out of here. So everybody said, oh, let's go to the flea market. Let's go to the flea market. And I said, okay, take me, just get me out of here. So we went to the flea market. Now, the flea market was in an old tobacco warehouse because Winston-Salem was founded by tobacco, R.J. Reynolds Tobacco Company. And the name Winston-Salem are 2 cigarette brands, Winston and Salem. And they also make Camels here. So we went to this huge-ass tobacco warehouse that's been turned into a flea market, indoor flea market. And I'm walking as slow as I can because I have a catheter attached to me and strapped to my ankle. And I'm not feeling up to walking far or fast anyway. And Cynthia and Amanda and John and all of them, they just take off. And I keep walking, you know, but I can't catch up to them. I'm walking slow. And they walked all the way to the other end of this damn place. And when I finally got to where they were walking back. And I had to sit down. I was like done. But I think it was the next day she had to take my catheter out. So I knew it was from my previous surgeries, I knew it was going to be a little bit messy, you know. There's going to be some blood and some urine. And I get in the shower and she grabs the tube and she pulls gently and it won't come out. She pulled gently again and it won't come out. And she says, what do I do? And I didn't know. I'm not a doctor or a nurse or anything. So she just grabs, I said, just yank it. And she yanked that son of a bitch out. And I about passed out. What we learned was a catheter works like this. They insert the catheter in, and at the end is a little balloon about the size of my thumb that inflates and keeps it in there so it can't come out. And you're supposed to twist something at the end of it to let the air out of this little balloon so you can pull it out. She didn't do that. She just yanked the son of a bitch out. So this was, let's see, Charlie's 13. So this was 14 and a half, 15 years ago. Like I said, I almost passed out from the pain. Still to this day, when I go to the little boys are in the pee-pee, I pee like that. One stream goes that way and one goes that way. She scarred me for life. And I need to go have it rechecked because it's been 15 years, but I ain't about that anymore. Cynthia says, yeah, I pulled it out. She did, man. She went, no, Alicia, she did not deflate the balloon. Oh my God, it hurt so bad. Oh, Lord have mercy. So that's the main reason why I haven't been back to have it checked. It's because I just can't imagine going through that ever again. Oh, Lord. Alicia, what are you cooking tomorrow? Gypsy says, I don't think they should have expected me to do that. It was awful. Yeah. It sucked. But I love you, honey. I know you didn't try to kill me. You just almost did. Things happen. So that's another thing I'm thankful for is I'm cancer free and I didn't die from Gypsy yanking my catheter out. Wow. Oh, Lord. She says, I am her honey. She's mine. Y'all have probably heard the story about when I met her. I knew right away she was the one. I mean, I was going through middle-aged crazy at the time because I'm 10 years older than she is. And I was going through a divorce and I had 3 girlfriends and I was on top of my game. And I met her and I just let them all go. I said, y'all, bye. This is it. And we've been together ever since. It's been 20 years, she told me the other day. Seems like yesterday, but 20 years goes by just pow. Sarah says, Gypsy, after one of my surgeries, I woke up, ripped out my IV because in my mind, I thought I needed to get dressed and go outside. I didn't want to inconvenience my driver. I had to yell for the nurse. You know, I was working at the beach when we moved to the beach, and I'd gotten a side job as a painter, and we were painting a new construction docks. So it was in July. It was hot. It was like 100 degrees outside, and the sun was reflecting off the water onto us, and I was sunburnt, and I had a heat stroke. And they had to take me to the hospital in the ambulance because I passed out, you know, right there. And they had IVs in me, but they were full. The emergency room at Morehead City was full. So they parked me in the hall. And I was there for hours, and nobody ever came by to check on me. And Cynthia got there, and I looked at her. I said, you know, I'm not going to wait much longer. I'm feeling better. So I took my IV out, and we got up, and I got my clothes on, and we left. It's better than sitting there another 3 hours waiting on somebody to come and do it. Gypsy must have been the surgery meds, and Gypsy says kids do that a lot coming out of anesthesia. She said, "Oh my God, shuddering at catheter." I remember that shit. Our little boy had to have surgery when he was 2 or 3, and they put him under. And when he came out, or when he was going under it, actually at first, he got real high, and he was laughing and giggling and just having a good old time. And then all of a sudden he just fell out. Yeah. Gypsy says, let's all take a pig break now after we've heard my catheter story. Yeah, it's getting close. I've been on here an hour and 15 minutes, and I should have went about 15 minutes ago, but I had to hit the rotisserie over there. So, my friends, I guess I'm going to jump off of here. Gypsy and I want you all to know that we love each and every one of you, and we appreciate you, and that you always have a safe, quiet place to come to, either her channel or my channel. And we support you and appreciate your support. And I hope that God blesses you guys. We got about 42 days left in the year. I have a special show coming up too next month. And I can't tell you about it because Gypsy's listening in, but I'm going to take her and Charlie on a field trip, and we're going to broadcast from it, and you guys are going to love it. And so y'all keep checking back because you're going to be really happy with what we do. So before I jump off, anybody have anything they want to say? Mystery Lady says, have a blessed Thanksgiving. Mystery Lady, thank you. I hope that God blesses you as well. And Sarah Leilani turned down the bond hearing, and she just went to jail. Yeah, I made a little video for Gypsy, but she ended up not going live. Let me play this for you before I get off of here. Thank you, God, that I make good decisions and I'm not in jail on Thanksgiving and Christmas for the next 100 years. Because that girl, if they don't put her to death, will be there for 100 years, in my opinion. Allegedly. Trigger warning. So, she deserves it. She doesn't deserve to be out. All right, guys. I'm going to go eat some of this chicken I cooked because it smells good. I'm going to play this outro. It's a video on my YouTube channel called The Gobble House. And the song is Frozen Love by a group that you probably all know. It's Buckingham Nicks, Lindsey Buckingham and Stevie Nicks. It was before they joined Fleetwood Mac. I don't really care much for Stevie Nicks, but I think Lindsey Buckingham is a phenomenal songwriter and guitarist. I think Joe Walsh is also, but my favorite is Lindsey Buckingham. He plays finger style like I do. He doesn't use a pick. He picks the strings with his fingers and uses his thumb for the bass note and then the other fingers for the, other chords. But the pictures in this are our two boys was our son, Charlie, who is 13 now, and our grandson, Montana. He is grown and gone now, 18, going on 32. And this is the life that we gave them while they were growing up. I put it to a video. Y'all enjoy this clip, and then I'll talk to you guys probably tomorrow or somewhere in chat this afternoon. Much love to all of you. Happy Thanksgiving. Gobble, gobble, gobble.
You may not be as strong as me, and I may not care to teach you. It may be hard to keep up with me. I'll always be able to reach you, and if you go forward, I'll meet you there. And if you climb up to the cold, freezing air, look down below you, search out above, cry out loud.
Good night, guys. We love you.